For the turret, the next thing we want to do is add in the basic system for shooting. So let's go ahead and go to our scripts. Inside of the script, let's add a couple of more variables for us. The first thing we want to do is for shooting, instead of like the other where you just push a button and it shoots, we want to have kind of a randomness to the shooting so it looks like there's a little bit of intelligence going on with it. First thing to do, let's set a time delay. We'll make two public variables here. We'll call one min delay, and we'll make this one 1 second long, and we'll make another variable. We'll call this max delay. And this one, let's make it 4 seconds long. So we've got our two variables there. We're going to have a couple of private variables for setting up a time. The first one we'll do is last time. We'll just go ahead and set this to 0. And then we'll do another private variable, and this one's just going to be the delay time. This will be the return value from our min and our max delay time. So we'll go ahead and set this to 0 as well. So let's go ahead and place in our first method, which will be shoot. The shoot method, this is going to be the setup for shooting. We'll go ahead and place it inside of our update. So it's going to constantly check for shoot. But what we're going to do is set it up so that it's checking based on time. So we'll say if time.time. So it's going to get our standard time, and we'll just say if the time is currently greater than our last time plus our delay time. So remember, our delay time will be random. So if the current time is going to be greater than the last time we checked plus the delay time, then that's going to be when you can shoot. So again, if it's going to be the time to shoot, then we'll just go ahead and say last time is now going to equal our current time. That way it's going to go in, it'll check, it'll say okay, it's been long enough, shoot one more time. And then we want to do similar to like we did before with the get random value. Let's go ahead and set up our get random value. Now with this, we'll just return, actually, let's go ahead and just do a return on this, kind of like the other one. We'll just do a float and return a random value. And the return random value is going to be random and then the range. And we'll get our min delay and our max delay. So the min delay we have, our max delay, it's going to return that the random value for us, which means our delay time, instead of being like every 2 seconds, we can actually assign this. So every time we get in here, we'll say delay time is going to equal get a new random value. That way, every time you shoot, every time the turret shoots, it's going to feel like there's a new time for it. Okay, so now once it says yes, I can shoot, then what do we want to shoot? Well, let's go ahead and get our game object, and we're going to instantiate the object. So remember, we're going to make a copy. What it wants from us is going to be the type of object. We're going to say it's the cannonball, and the cannonball is actually going to shoot from the turret top. So we'll say from this transform position and from this transform rotation. And we're going to instantiate it as a game object. Alright, make sure you can see the whole line there. Okay, so now we have our shooting, which is going to be checking every time that the current time goes past our last time, and our delay time. We're getting a random value for our delay time, so it feels a little bit different. The min and max delay are set up here as public, so you can actually change them inside of Unity in the inspector. And then once it's ready to shoot, it'll shoot the object. And the last thing we want to do is just take the object name, similar to the other. We don't want it to say clone on it, so we'll say object name is going to still be called cannonball. So let's go ahead and go back into Unity, make sure we don't have any errors. And then we can push play, and now it's actually shooting, And notice if I move, it's going to start shooting whatever direction I'm at. Alright, so now that we have it shooting at us, the next thing we want to do is make sure, one thing, we can play with the value of the shot. So one of the things you may notice is it shoots it really far. If it's too far for you, then you can just go to your prefabs cannonball, and you can make the adjustments on the min and max force. So if you wanted it to go a little closer of a shot, you might want to go 250, and then maybe you want it to go 650. So you can change those up. You can change the value of it so that it has some close shots, some far shots. You can go really extreme and just set it for like 50 for a min and 1,000 for a max. So that's going to finish off. We'll just double check once more to see how that shoots out. But that'll finish off the basic setup. So there we go. So it's shooting a little bit, instead of shooting so high all the time, it's shooting kind of straight sometimes. Alright, now we need to set up all the interaction between the cannonball hitting the player hitting the turret, and keep score of health and track all of those good things.